Now, I'm sure some of you have heard me talk about the stick, or maybe some of you have even seen me twirl this wonderful stick. You could have watched me twirl at our high school football games, basketball games, or even some of my closer friends have seen a couple performances. Now, most people think it's pretty cool what I can do when I twirl this baton, but I'm going to show you today it's not as difficult as it seems. Today, I'm going to teach you guys a few tricks I learned when I first started twirling, and then we're going to go over some steps that will get you ready for your performance and how that can also help you in your everyday life. First off, our first trick is called FigureEight, or when I was 5, we called it scoop in the vanilla, scoop in the chocolate. So first off, let's look at this baton. One end is bigger than the other. I really don't know why, but it'll be important when learning these tricks. You're going to hold your baton, big end on this side, little end on this side. You're going to scoop your big end in the vanilla, and then you're going to scoop it in the chocolate. Only your big end, never your little end. And soon, it'll look like this. It'll look like a FigureEight. Next, we're going to learn a flat twirl, or when I teach the little girls, I call it a pizza. You're going to hold it like this again. Your big end is going to go over your arm coming at you, and your little end is going to go under your arm. And you just repeat this process. Big end goes over, little end goes under. The faster it looks, the more flat it looks. Next, I'm going to teach you a trick that we just call over-under. You're going to hold it like this again, but I want you to pretend that there is an M&M in your hand, and you don't want that M&M to fall on the floor. So you're going to open your hand flat, flat. The M&M has not fallen. It stays right here. You're going to hold your baton between your thumb and your pointer finger. And then you're going to take your left hand flat, and you're going to chop, chop, chop until your hands are in line with each other, and then switch to your left. So again, M&M, flat, chop, 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 switch, and it'll look like this. Okay, those are the 3 tricks I learned when I started twirling, but quickly I'm going to teach you guys how to do a thumb flip. This last trick has already kind of led us into it. You're going to go back to holding your baton between your thumb and your pointer finger, and your M&M is still there. First, we're going to start with what we call a rocket, which is where you just get used to tossing the baton and catching it. Seems easy enough. Next, we're going to do a thumb flip. So it's like a rocket, but instead your baton is going to fall over your thumb, just your thumb, roll off, and catch. This is how I always toss my baton. This is how I get the revolution that I need. Most people think I just chuck it, but a thumb flip helps keep it in control, but it only comes off your thumb. Soon you'll be able to do thumb flips in a row, or maybe one day you'll be able to toss this high. Now that we've learned a couple of tricks, I think you guys are ready for a performance. According to holdanswer.com, there are 6 steps that will get you performance ready. Now, besides hair, makeup, costumes, shoes, you have to mentally be prepared for the performance. Step 1, positive outlook. If you think that the performance is going to go bad, it most likely will. You have to trust yourself, know what you're doing, and know that you've got this. Step 2, motivation. Not only do you have to be excited and ready to perform, but you also have to be excited and ready to practice. That is the only way that you can get better. It's an overused statement, but practice really does make perfect. Step 3, goals. It is important to have goals when you step out on that field, that court, that floor, etc. For example, my goal when I perform is to not drop my tosses or my tricks. And yes, it actually is very common to have drops during performances. Step 4, working well with others. When you're on a team, you are all working together for the same goal. In Baton, we have these things called exchanges, where I toss my baton to my teammate next to me, and she or he tosses it back to me. I have to make sure that my toss is well enough for them to catch, and I have to trust them that they're going to catch it, and vice versa. They have to give me a good toss, and they have to trust me that I'm going to catch it. Step 5, coping with nerves. I personally get more nervous when I perform at AL games because I'm performing in front of all of my friends. When you're stepping out with a team, let alone by yourself, it can be really scary. It sounds silly, but I usually shake it out before a performance. It helps me feel better and focus on what I'm doing and be prepared for the performance ahead of me. And our last step, step 6, is concentration. If I take my eye off this baton for 1 second, I drop it. You have to be fully in your performance, and you have to be aware of your surroundings. If my toss is a little bit off, I have to be prepared to go get it and grab it. Let's take a look back over these. Positive outlook, motivation, goals, working well with others, coping with anxiety, and concentration. These 6 steps can help prepare you for performance, but it can also help you in your everyday life. It is important to have a positive outlook on life, to have goals in life, to learn how to cope with anxiety, and also to work well with others in places like school and work. These steps could also help you improve your day. Thank you for learning some tricks with me, and I hope you'll think of these 6 steps the next time you have a game, a performance, or even if you're just having a bad day. Thank you.